Hello and welcome to Quirky Cat Crafts. This is Sherry. Okay, you guys. Oops, there's something going on there. There's a bubble. All right, so this is part 2 of my dog frame mosaic. And so the first thing I'm going to do is get my silver leafing tiles done with the paw print impressions. So we're going to do that first. All right, you guys. And I don't want to use this silver leafing because it's disintegrating. Hang on, grabbing some different ones. Wow. I have a feeling today's going to be one of those I can't remember how to speak properly days. So this should be entertaining. I'm making no promises. All right, so yeah, so we're going to do, this is my basket of leafing, all the different colors that I have, but the only blue that I have is like it's such a primary blue that I don't think it's going to work with the frame, so we're going to go silver, so that's what I've decided. So I might do 2 sheets worth of this because it is a pretty big frame. So, all right. So this is leafing that's made for like manicures. And so I get it off of Amazon. And I'll put the link in the description below. But it comes as like a set with a bunch of different colors. So oopsie, that was almost bad. I should probably turn my fan off while I'm doing this. This should be entertaining. Okay. Oh, come on. It's going to be one of those days, you guys. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to peel back the paper. And then, I've showed you guys this in other videos, but I just take the sheet of clay and drop it down like that because... See, that's the other leafing that I told you it was disintegrating. It was stuck to my hands. To get the leafing attached. And then we're going to give it a quick roll. So that it bonds to the clay. And I'm doing this on the Sculpey Souffle Bluestone color. Because the leafing is going to crack and flake over time. That's kind of what it's designed to do. And so that way when it does, the color that shows through will be this really pretty kind of blue-gray color. So, okay, and initially I thought I was going to, well, and I still might. I'm going to get a bigger block so I have better control over my, what do you call it? Placement. Jeez, words, English, nouns and verbs. This is going to be a fun day. All right. So I'm trying to decide if I want to just do like that and have it be a square because sometimes I want long strips and sometimes I want vertical. Horizontal would be the correct terminology, not long. Golly gee willikers. All right, so I think we're going to do it. We're going to go just a little bit from the edge. Even pressure. And we have little paw prints. And then we're going to line it up. And continue across the sheet. So... yeah. Did you guys see my little herding geese video? When I got to work yesterday and I got into my truck and I was getting ready to drive the yard to look for my trailer and I saw movement at the location of the fence where I feed the stray cats, which honestly, since midnight's gone, which I am choosing to believe that I had him so friendly that somebody picked him up and took him home, because until I have evidence to the contrary, that's what my brain needs to say happened. So, but now that I don't have the joy of seeing him every day, and really the rest of the cats don't really come out that much for me. But if I see cats, I'll put out food. And so like I said, I saw movement at the hole in the fence. So I started driving back that way. And then when I got closer, I realized that it wasn't cats. It was an adult goose with 3 babies. And then you can't really see it, but the other side of that fence is kind of like just like a rain drain off creek bed area, ravine, whatever. And our parking lot, when it rains, it has the grates in the ground, and then there's pipes that so that the yard doesn't flood. And the business next door, which is a trash truck place, their parking lot is set up the same way. So all of the water running off the parking lots goes down into the sewer drains, and then it flows out into this little creek area. So, and that's where the cats, the raccoons, the possums, the skunks, all the little critters like to be. But anyway, so in the creek bed was the other adult goose. So I don't know which one was the mother and which one was the father, but you guys know that geese kind of pair up and mate for life. They're a lot more loyal to their mate. I'm not going to finish that thought. But anyway, but they are very loyal to their mate. And so one of the parents was inside on the other side of that 6-foot fence with 3 other babies, and they were kind of swimming around in the creek. But this adult couldn't fit through the hole in the chain link fence where we put the cat food, myself and the other driver that feeds cats. So, so that even though the babies could fit through, the adult one couldn't. And even though the adult could, I would assume, fly over the fence, wasn't really figuring out that was an option. So, so I was driving along behind initially, just kind of herding them towards the back of the yard where I know there's a bigger gap in the fence that the adult goose would be able to fit through to get down into the creek. And they're just waddling along in front of me. I was kind of protecting them with my truck. And then when we got to the point where I couldn't drive my truck any further, I got out of my truck, and I was a little nervous because, you see all these videos of, especially geese that have babies being really aggressive towards people. And I was ready to jump back in my truck and be like, all right, you're on your own if that happened. But if you watched the video, you saw that didn't happen. So I think that the goose knew I was trying to help. So that was my good deed for the day. And my happy animal interaction always brightens my day. All right, so I'm trying to think if this is going to be enough or if I want to do a second sheet. And I think I do want to do a second sheet. So let me get... Craft room is still not cleaned up. It's not going to be cleaned up until I finish this project, because now that I'm inspired and I'm running with this project, everything else has kind of gone to the wayside until I get this one done. So there's our first sheet. And remember that the souffle cuts really, really well after baking, so I can do this as a sheet. I don't have to cut it down before I bake it. So then when I need a piece of it to fill in a gap on the picture frame, I can just cut it down to the size that I need. But we are going to do a second sheet of it, I think. So let's roll this back out again. So we're going to do this, and then I've got all of the little dog-themed filler stamps. The dog toys and whatnot. And I'm actually undecided, and I've learned this from experience, that like, until I start laying it out, I don't know, you know, what the format's going to be. And so probably what I'm going to do, because I can't really decide between silver or the white glitter clay. And so I think I'm going to do each stamp on both. Because if they don't get used on this project, what do I always say, you guys? They'll get used on something else. And so, and then that way I'll have both options available, because I might want to do half on one type, one color, and half on another. I don't know. So if I do both of them, that's going to give us more options. So I really don't know what's going on with my speaking ability today, you guys. Kind of at a loss. So anyway, and then the third one I'm going to do is the silhouette stamps, which I think I'm going to do in black ink on the silver glitter clay. And I think I'm going to pick out 4. Oh, it's so wrinkled. And I may not use all 4, but I think that's what we're going to try to do. So, no, don't roll up. So, all right. Get that out of the way. It's probably going to take me probably 2 full weekends to get this room back in order. But not this weekend. This weekend we're crafting. Oh, there's a little. All right. Sorry, my head's probably going to be in there. So, yeah, last night was a normal work night. I was very glad that I did not go to St. Louis on Thursday. They actually sent me on a different lane down to Oklahoma. And then my stepmom called me and was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, why wouldn't I be? And she's like, "Because of the weather." And I'm like, "Well, where I'm at, there isn't any weather. What's going on?" And she said, "St. Louis got hit by like 3 different tornadoes." And so when I got down there and I pulled it up on my phone, and yeah, they had tornado warnings everywhere. So I was very happy I was not in St. Louis on Thursday night. So I wouldn't, oh, that's really bad. I was offline on that one. Probably would have gotten turned around. That's how bad the weather was. I think dispatch would have turned us around. So, you don't know. And we'll see how things go next week. I don't know what's up with my boys today, but they're both wound up. Actually, normally still sleeping, but they wouldn't shut up, so I finally got up and went down and fed them, and then I had a quick bite to eat. I was going to just come straight in here, but and I was like, no, because then I'll get hungry and I'll have to stop what I'm doing, and I don't want to do that. So I went down and ate first. Some leftover Chipotle. Healthy breakfast, right? I know. All right. So now we got a couple of sheets of the paw prints, and now we're going to stamp out the rest of what I want to stamp out. So, I think let's do the silhouettes first. Let's see what we got. And I'm going to do them on silver. using the sticker as a reference because it's a very close representation of the dog. So, I'm looking basically for froofy ears, like floppy ears. I'm really drawn to these three. And I think there was one where the dog was stretching that I thought was pretty close. That one. So we've got two standing, a sitting, and a stretching. Yep, I think those are the four. Okay. I haven't used any of these, so we're going to see how well they stamp out. Okay, so this one. And this one. Oh, I like that one too. All right. Kind of begging. So now I feel like I need a sixth one. Let me look. Even though I'm not sure on the tail on this one, I like the paw being up. Like shake. All right. And again, may not use all of them. We'll just have to see. And this would be a type of something, wow. Again, with the words in the English. Sorry, you guys. This would be the type of a project that I would do if I didn't have a project in mind. Like all these little mini silhouette dogs. And then I also have a set that's cats as well. And I would just do them in black ink on, you know, maybe like white clay, silver clay, gold clay, something like that. Just to have 2 or 3 different varieties of them. And I would just stamp a bunch out and bake them and put them in my cat and dog tile storage boxes to have to use for later. So even if you're not inspired to do a specific project and a specific theme, there's always ways you can play to create stuff for later. And you never know, that might end up inspiring you to do a project. So, and I don't have as much silver clay as I thought I did, so I'm not going to be able to stamp all 6 at once. I mean, I have more. I have more over in my shelving unit, but there's no need to open up a whole new package when I have enough here to do these 6. So, come on, goodness gracious. So, we're in a, it's a little cooler today than it has been. And we're actually in a freeze advisory for tonight. That is, it's a good thing it's not raining, because if it was going to be raining, it would probably be snow. So everyone thinks spring is sprung, but I don't know. There's still potential for it to not be. We're just going to do 2 at a time because I don't want to mess them up. So I hope everybody's having okay weather where you're at. And if you were in any of the areas that got hit by those storms the other day, I hope you dodged the worst of it and that everyone's okay. So okay, straight down pressure because it's just silhouette and I'm not worried about details. I'm doing a little more pressure than I normally would to make sure that we get solid stamp. There we go. And I remember to bring my baby wipes in this time so I can clean off my stamps. And I think we have room to do 2 more, so why not? Couple taps, make sure we got solid ink coverage. And, well, I wiggled that a little bit. We're going to see how that came out. Even pressure. Ta-da. And we're going to cut these out and then I'll run the rest of the clay through and re-roll it out, and then we can do these last 2. So, and the reason I'm doing these in black as opposed to the blue that I'm going to do the other items in, honestly, no real reason except for, you know, again, mixed media, it needs to be mixed, and if everything was stamped in the blue ink, your eye would get stuck. It would get very monotonous to look at. So, variety is the spice of life, and it's also the best way to go in regards to mixed media mosaics. And just to keep in mind that, you know, you want to have at least 2 of each item, you know, 2 buttons, 2 stickers, 2 charms, 2 stamps, whatever, at least 2. Because if you just have 1, it's going to stick out. And your eye is going to be drawn to that, or the viewer's eye is going to be drawn to that, and it's going to get stuck. And you want the eye to keep moving and just go to the next tile and the next tile and the next tile and the next tile. So, so you want to have 2 or 3 of certain things. So I'll use at least 2 of these silhouette stamps. Possibly 3. Might use all 6. Never know. But this way I have different options because there'll be different sizes because, you know, until you start laying it out, you don't know what your spacing is going to be. At least for me, because I'm not going to sit here and measure. Although I was very mad at myself the other day because when I stamped out the words, because I had been thinking that I was going to make sure they were the exact width of the frame so that I wasn't going to have odd little narrow gaps to fill in. And I did not do that. And so I haven't baked those yet, and I might redo them. We're going to, when I get done with this, since now that's in my head, when I get done with these real quick, I'm going to pull the frame back in and lay the tiles on them to see if I need to redo any of them. So, I wasn't thinking. I was a little distracted. Which kind of seems to be a constant state of mind here for me lately. I don't know what's going on with my brain. Just a whole lot of thinking been happening. And kind of reflection and introspection and just thinking about, I don't know, kind of feel like my my internal GPS got off track somehow, and I need to recalibrate and figure out where I'm wanting to go, and then go, because instead of just spinning my wheels. So, not sure where I'm wanting to go, not sure what I'm wanting to do, but I'll figure it out. So, I've been very against trying to pursue this as, you know, to try and get it like going as a business and promote and take orders or whatever, because, you know, it's I don't want it to become an obligation. And, you know, and if there's stuff going on and days going on that where I can't get in here, I don't want to be working under a deadline. So, because at least for me, I can't force the creativity. Other artists, I'm sure, are quite capable of it, but I can't. And if I'm not feeling the vibe, it's not going to get done, or it's not going to get done right, and I'm not going to be happy with it. And I'm definitely not going to want to be charging money for something I'm not happy with. And so, I don't know if that's the route I want to go. It might be, and I'll think about it, but for right now, I don't want it to go to that next level. So, but yeah, I've had several people ask me why I'm not, you know, self-promoting and doing craft shows and creating a website and signing up for a business license and all that. And I'm just like, look, I don't have I'm not in the right space right now, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, to make that happen. And I would be setting myself up for failure. So I'm just going to continue to enjoy it. I've also been asked why I'm providing so much information for free instead of doing paid tutorials. But this isn't about money for me. This is the joy of the craft and sharing that joy with others, especially if it's someone like me who wants to be creative but doesn't really have artistic talents and abilities. This is definitely an art form where pretty much as long as you can cut a straight line, you'll be all right. So, and there's really no wrong way to do anything. And so, and because it's not like, you know, painting or drawing or sculpting that requires a lot of technical skill, I just want to get the information out there, because when I found this, it was such an outlet to me to be able to be creative without having to have a whole lot of creative ability. So, and so I'm just sharing the joy with others. That's all I'm doing. And I hope you guys get a little bit of joy from it. And that I'm not too irritating. So, but you know, also people are like, oh, your videos are too long and you babble too much and you need to be clear and concise and explain what you're doing and demonstrate and show before and after and you know, have a script. And, well, you know what? That's not me. I'm not 100% sure who me is. That's kind of part of what I've been thinking about here lately, but that's definitely not me. So I'm going to go with the flow and bring you guys along for the ride, and people that want to come along are welcome to, and people that don't find it entertaining or beneficial can absolutely move on in their search and find somebody that does more what they want. So that is something that I was told very early on when I started doing videos, was this is your corner of the internet. Do what you want to do. Be who you are. So that's what we're doing. All right. Get these back in. I've got stamps everywhere that are going to have to go back onto their, that's going to be a fun project. That's probably going to take me a good hour to figure out where those stamps go. But it is what it is, so. But since these are here, we'll get those put away. Okay. Come on. Okay. Sorry, you guys. All right, so now, like I said, I've got 4, 8, 12 of these little stamps. And so I think I was planning on doing 3 different colors of clay. Sorry, give me a second. I think we're just going to do 2. So we're going to do the canned dog food in the bone with this pile and the shampoo in the brush with this pile. Okay, so I think I want to do these on white glitter and these on the straight silver. I don't have any particular reason why. That's just what I'm feeling in my gut, and so that's what we're going to do. So, all right, so let's do the white glitter first. And we're going to do these in blue ink, navy blue ink. It's actually called Night Sky is the color. I'll show it to you here in just a second. Sorry, I should have had the clay already conditioned and rolled out. So, anyway, so I've been seeing all these posts and clips from the Broadway musical The Great Gatsby on Broadway, obviously. And the set design is blowing my mind. I'm just, I mean, I've gone to, you know, plays locally here in the Kansas City area, but just, that's a whole nother level that I didn't even know existed. And I don't know, one of these days I might have to get to New York and go see a play on Broadway just to say I've done it and experienced it, because I think it would be pretty mind-blowing. Wow. There's obviously a... I'm going to have to take my clay... Oh my gosh, yeah, I can feel it. Yeah, that's going to be a project that happens very soon. Cleaning out the crumbs. See, I'm getting all these chunks of blue in my white clay. Not good. I used to have an electric pasta maker, pasta roller, but it did not hold up well at all. And it was a very expensive purchase that I don't feel like was worth it in the end. So I just go with the inexpensive ones from Michael's. What are they, like 30 bucks or something like that? So, okay, so we got can of dog food and the rope toy. We'll do these first. This is our ink. Make sure all the lines are covered. And let's see how these stamp out. What do you think, you guys? Cute. And, you know, these are ones that I could sit there with the alcohol inks and color them and or do mica powders on them or whatever. But on this particular one, I just kind of want them. They're more filler and background. That's not the priority of the frame on this one. So we're just going to keep it simple. Sometimes less is more. All right, we got Frisbee and dog bone. And I am not choosing to stamp out like doghouse, dog bowl, because I have those in buttons. Hello, Garfield. My big fat orange cat just walked right under my legs and rubbed against them. And let's see. So, and again, these may not all get used, but whatever doesn't will get used elsewhere at some point. So, and I forgot that I was going to do all of them on both colors of clay, but I don't think I'm going to now. We're just going to run with this. All right, so there's the 6 on that. Get these cut out. And then we're going to do the other 6 on the silver. Not silver glitter, it's just plain metallic silver. So, and then trying to think if I need to, if I have any more that I need to do. So I'm feeling like I'm not doing enough of the metal charms or the buttons or the stickers because I've only got 2 stickers. These 2 stickers. And I thought about doing smaller cabochons with maybe just like silver paper with like maybe just a red heart. Because I do have a couple of pops of red coming in on this project. And I'm worried because right now I only have 3. But I think I might do Riley, the dog's name, in red on the mirror. So that would be my 4th pop of red, and I think we'll be okay then. So there's our little can of dog food. See? And yeah, I could come in with alcohol inks and color it up, but like I said, on this project, that's not the look I'm after. So sometimes less is more. Sorry, you guys. I thought I had more to say than what I had to say. So I am still down the Jeremy Jordan rabbit hole. Came across another video last night where he did a show where it was like Broadway Miscast or something like that, I think it was called, where different, you know, Broadway actors and performers performed a song from a musical they're in, but of a character that they would never be cast as. And he was in the Broadway musical The Waitress, or Waitress, I guess it's just called Waitress. I have not seen the movie. I'm not familiar with the play. I had to Google it to kind of get a plot line. But he sings a song called She Used to Be Mine, which is sung by Jenna, the waitress, the main character. I guess when she discovers that she's pregnant and she's in an abusive relationship she was about to get out of, and now she feels trapped and something like that. And so, but how this man is able to not just sing the songs, but channel emotion into it, and so that you are totally believing that he is a young, trapped, pregnant waitress. It's just the ability to do that, and where he draws that from. I guess it's, you know, emoting, whatever. So, I don't know. I don't do a lot of emotions. I kind of tend to bottle stuff up. And so to actually, like, willingly go to a place where you feel that scared, that sad, that, you know, trapped, that lonely, whatever, in order to perform the song at a level where it hits the audience on an emotional level is just pretty amazing to me. I don't know if I'm making any sense with that at all, but and the lyrics of that song really resonated with me. Although I'm not in a situation like that, but just several of the lyrics really just stuck out to me. So I'll be honest, I was driving down I-70 in Missouri last night with that particular song on repeat and just listening to it over and over and over again. So, yep. So, all right. So this is Fimo silver. Mostly I'm just using it up because the Sculpey 3 silver is so soft and squishy, and this is going to be a little more firm, which is what I'm after for these particular, ouch. If I get it to roll out smoothly. Ouch. Gosh darn it. Hang on. What the heck? Yeah, that would be why it was painful. This was on my floor. I dropped it. It's like a little just black kind of brad with pointy prongs. And that's what I was stepping on. So yeah, ouch would be appropriate. My floor is such a mess because I went through such a mode of the dropsies where it was just, I was like, fine, I was like, heck with it. Because nothing's ever right where it hits the floor anyway. It's like everything, it's like my floor becomes a trampoline. And little mini craft supplies go flying everywhere. And so every once in a while, I either get down there with a flashlight and try and retrieve stuff, or I just let it be a snack for the vacuum cleaner. Just depends on the mood I'm in. Alright, we got it pretty good. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to do this one by itself because it is a, it's foam mounted and that's the red rubber, so it's going to be a thicker. So we have to do it by itself so that we get a good stamp. So, alright, so the dog leash. Okay. And then we've got dog bed and collar. I used to do Well, I tried out for a couple of plays. Well, here, let's back up even more. I changed schools in 3rd grade and went from public school to Catholic school. And 3rd grade was the first year of that. And so I hadn't really made friends yet there. Was working on it, and the teacher decided we were going to do a class play. And she was giving out the parts. And she chose me to be the ugly duckling. Which is really kind of funny to me because, you know, when I was little, like, you know, I had brothers, they'd pick on me. Get me all upset. And I learned that at an early age it was better to not really react, because if you react, that just fed fuel to the fire. So my mom used to say I was like a little duck, and it would just, everything just rolled right off my back. And so then it was kind of funny that in 3rd grade I got cast as the ugly duckling. So, and I do recall there was a song involved, and I am not a singer at all. But I did the best I could. And I don't know, I don't like really remember like experience, like feeling any kind of anything from it, except for, I don't know, probably, you know, too young, 8 years old. And then fast forward to, there were a couple other like Christmas pageants and things like that. And then when I got to 8th grade and we switched back to public school, and so I tried out for a part in the musical for Tom Sawyer. Not a specific part, like I was just looking to be like part of the ensemble or whatever. And so, you know, the advisor or whatever, you know, basically said, sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I got as far as those 4 words. And she went, yeah, no, next. And everybody laughed, and I was very embarrassed and humiliated. So it was obvious that I was not going to be on the stage. And I don't know if I had the personality anyway for, like, I'm easily embarrassed. And I think if you're easily embarrassed, probably not the way to go. So then I signed up to be part of the crew. And did, you know, either props or lighting or sound or whatever like that. So, did enjoy that. Even though I was never actually... I did get to be on the stage once. The musical was Hello, Dolly. And my job as the prop master for that particular play was, there's a scene where one of the guy characters, male characters, this was freaking like 40 years ago, so I don't know, I haven't like seen the movie or anything recently, but male character was singing to essentially a mannequin and acting like it was Dolly, the main character. So we had a mannequin that was wheeled out as like on like a parade float kind of thing. And on the last night of the performance, when we were doing the balloons to decorate the float, I decided to stick a couple of balloons down the front of the mannequin's dress. And so then, you know, mad props to the actor that was supposed to be singing, because they didn't know that that was going to happen. And so how he managed to do that without breaking character is beyond me. And the audience was just roaring. And then at the end, when he's finishing up the song and I'm supposed to come out and basically take down the mannequin and walk off with it. And when I came out, I had a straight pin and I popped the balloons and then picked up the mannequin and walked off the stage. And that was pretty much the extent of my theatrical career. And also the end of being part of any of the plays, because the advisor did not find it funny. But that was my senior year. And after the way she degraded me with my Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I wasn't viewing it as like retribution, but it kind of ended up being that way. But everyone else thought it was funny, but she didn't think it was funny. And now I'm looking at this dog tag stamp and wondering if I have letter stamps small enough to do the dog's name in there. So we're going to set that one aside and cut this out. And then I'm going to go, because I know I have an alphabet stamp set that's really, really small. So we might have to do that. Because wouldn't that be cute? All right. Anyway, so I don't know. So I'm seeing and hearing all this stuff that has to do with theater and kind of thinking maybe now that I'm kind of looking around going, wow, I've just kind of been existing for the last 8 years and not really living life to the fullest. And maybe that's a direction I want to go in regards to getting out of the trucking and out of the craft room and interacting with people. Because even though I interact with you guys on here to some extent, not really the same, and it's a lot less risk when you're doing it on the internet. So, all right, let's see what we got here. I think those are too big. I think those are too big. I know I have a smaller set. Here it is. Actually comparing and these are all bigger ones. Yeah. I really like this one. We're gonna spell it out and hold it over it and see if it's gonna work. All right, hold on. And then in regards to like my textured filler tiles that I do, we're gonna go through the ones I already have made first and see what works before I make a bunch of new ones. So, all right, let's see. R. I. What, baby? Opie, my older cat, the one that's 20, walked through the living room yesterday. Garfield was laying on the floor in the middle of the living room. And Opie walked right up to him and smacked him in the face. And Garfield just looked at me like, what the heck? And I was like, I don't know, you must have done something. Because Opie is a grudge holder. He will hold on to a grudge for a very long time. And it's always a situation of a promise of future retribution. And you never know when it's gonna strike or what form it's gonna take. But whew, when it does. What? Oh my Lanta. One of them just fell down the stairs. What are you boys doing? Come here. Knock it off. What are you doing? Come here. Which of your 9 lives are you on? Do you want to find out? Behave yourself. Yeah, right. So, alright, so here we go. Riley, oops. And I'm going to hold it over it, and then I'm going to stamp it out, and then we're going to see if it's going to fit. And I'm not real sure. We might have to do the lowercase r. Yeah, no, way too big. Okay. Let's see if the lowercase r will make it any smaller. P, Q, R. Kind of like the lowercase r. We're going to stamp it out on paper, and we might have to do each individual letter so that we can squish them together. I don't know. Let's see. Will this work? Nope. Also too big. Well, it was a cute thought. Oh, well. I could just stamp a paw print or something in the middle of that. It's not a bad idea. I don't know. Yeah. I'll go see if those other letters are small enough. I don't think they're going to be, but we'll try it. Now I lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I was saying. You do not know. See, what really stinks about this set is like none of them stick to the sheet anymore. They're all down here at the bottom, and I don't think it's gonna work. All right, that was a cute idea. No go. Could do a red heart brad like I did on the dog right there. Right in the middle. No. Not feeling it, you guys. Sorry, my head's probably in there. I gotta get this cut out. And then I'm gonna bring the frame back in, and we're gonna lay the tiles out even though they're not baked yet. Just because I want to see on the word tiles before I bake them if I want to redo any of them. So, and then we're going to get them in the oven. And that'll be the end of this particular video. And then part 3 will be the laying out process. And then part 4 will be getting it glued. And then part 5 will be the final reveal. So. Alright. Okay. Alright. Let's get a little bit of stuff put away here. So I have room to work. Let's just kind of get a tentative idea of how this is going to look. So here's our frame. So we know that now that I have the my grid lines back. So that's pretty much middle. And like I said, I'm going to do his name and stickers, and I might do red. And then I think I'm going to add a little silver paw print down in this corner. So, and then the name in the middle. Okay. this one is going to go down here. See, this is why I'm probably going to redo all those. Because this should have been the width of the frame, and see, it's not. So yeah, I'm probably going to redo those. Dang it. That's what I get for not thinking. Yeah. I just wasn't thinking when I was cutting them out because I was talking to you guys. See, like this one's too wide. That one. I mean, it's okay if there's room for something, but when it's just that narrow of a strip, it's just going to look kind of weird and wonky. I'm going to have to think on that. All right. So I know this sticker was going to go over here. And this sticker was going to go over here. And dog. So this dog was going to go up here. Was I going to do buttons in the four corners? I don't know if that was originally my plan, but I kind of like it. Nope. I don't like having it that symmetrical. Oh, and then this is red, and this is red, so this needs to go over here. Because I'm trying to space out my reds, but I think that's going to be red, so it's going to be red, red, red. So this actually needs to go like maybe here. Which means we're kind of going more like this with our buttons. Oh, I like that by the mirror anyway. Okay. And then we have our, I should not be doing this when they're not baked yet, but we have our, but I'm curious. Curious if I'm close on what I want to do. Definitely want to redo the words though. Because like, see, even my little small ones aren't small enough to. But just kind of getting an idea. And I think we're going to go ahead and get them baked. But I'm going to redo the word ones. These 5. I think. But I'll do that off camera. And then we're going to get these baked. And when I come back, we'll get it laid out. So, all right, you guys. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching.